welcome to the Arsenal Armchair Podcast, brought to you by Hoxton Radio. This is The Pressure, coming live from the basement here at Arc Co-Living, 437 Hackney Road, where Hoxton Radio usually does their stuff, and I take over the studio once or twice a week to come and bring you the latest and greatest Arsenal news on our dearly beloved club. Hope you're enjoying the World Cup. Hope it's all been going well for you. I guess as we get towards the tail end of the tournament, most of our good players can start to come home and put their feet up and have a bit of a rest, because we know they've certainly deserved that. As we go to press here, it's exactly 4 weeks away today until the Charity Shield with Man City. So we've got proper football to look forward to once again in just 4 weeks' time. So that's exciting. On the show today, a bit of transfer ins and outs. Quite a lot happening for Arsenal women over the last week or so. And we'll go through a bit of speculation to see what could be bubbling away whilst looking at some of our new kit, which is set to drop in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, about a week or so to go as we go to press. Thanks very much for coming back and getting involved. It's the Arsenal Armchair Podcast, where we kind of just sit at home and watch the matches. We don't need all that nonsense of going to the game and queuing and trying to get tickets, although I did try and get a ticket for the Coventry match, and they unfortunately didn't have one for me. So of the 60,000, they couldn't spare one little seat. I guess so let's start with the footy from last night. England bowed out of the World Cup in typical fashion. We took the lead against Argentina and then somewhat sort of crumbled under the weight of our own, expectations really. Made some really defence-heavy substitutions, didn't really control the game, didn't have an outlet going forward, and quelle surprise, the world champions Argentina managed to bag themselves 2 goals against us to go through to the final. So that means that we play in the third place match against France on Saturday night. Probably a game that no one is ever going to see, and I really hope that Rice, Madueke and Saka are nowhere to be seen for that one either. Big news, I suppose, is like the outgoing this week of Leandro Trossard speculation that's been like widely assumed it was going to happen for quite a while, but he has officially exited Arsenal for Turkish side Besiktas for 18 million euros. That's £15.3 million. It could rise for bonuses and add-ons. It's going to be paid in 6 equal instalments over 3 years, which is really good money management from Arsenal. They're like, no, mate, don't give us that 15 mil all in one go. We'll only go and spend it down the bookies, won't we? Do it in nice instalments, Besiktas, and put on a little bit of interest towards the end if you don't mind. On Tuesday, he was given time to travel to Istanbul to undergo a medical, and the fee was agreed. He joined Arsenal back in 2023 in the Jan transfer window for just 21 million quid and has scored 36 goals and registered 34 assists in 174 appearances. At the time, we were set to, it looked like the deal was almost done for that Chelsea winger who's now been banned and he's not playing anymore, Mykhailo Mudryk. It was talk of us swooping in 80 mil for him, and right at the last minute, Chelsea nabbed him, so we got Trossard as a bit of a backup, and he's been brilliant for us. He's always sort of competed with Martinelli on that left wing for, I think they've worked best when they've both been fit and been able to sort of deputise for the other, or rather one starts the match and plays for like 60 minutes and the other one comes on, and they sort of had they rotated in their best way, I think, the season that's just gone by, in that both of them had. Martinelli in the Champions League was really good, and Trossard in the league bagged us some very crucial goals. So sad to see him go, but out of those two, I would probably rather he went, because he had probably his best season for us. There were times when unplayable, he just had such an aura of confidence and links up the play so well going forward. Very intelligent player. Not the quickest, not the speediest, but just gets in the right places at the right times and does the business. And he had a good World Cup. So good luck to Trossard. We wish you all the best, and we'll be tuning into your Besiktas matches to see you stuff Galatasaray and Fenerbahce. Off the back of that then, there's a bit of a ripple effect as to who we might sign on the left wing. This is news today. Arsenal set to accelerate their pursuit of Club Brugge attacker Christos Tilozis. following the departure of Trossard. Elsewhere then, Arsenal have explored the possibility, I love this one, of offering Victor Gyökeres as part of like a swap deal plus a bit of cash for Julio Alvarez. Barcelona have been trying to sign him. Atletico are saying he's not for sale to Barca, but I don't know if that's not for sale to anyone. And you've got to think, though, if Argentina win the World Cup on the weekend, then his value is only going to go up again, isn't it? Elsewhere, then, we are also preparing an offer of about £34 million for RB Leipzig's 21-year-old Norway winger, Antonio Nusa. That one was from caught offside. So now that Trossard's gone and there's a bit of cash in the bank, some official news that isn't speculation in the women's arena, because the Arsenal women have been very busy over the last, couple of weeks. We have signed Spain international owner Battle on a free transfer following her exit from Barcelona. She joined on a 4-year deal with an option to extend for a further year, widely regarded as one of the best fullbacks in the world, and helped Barcelona win the Women's Champions League back in May. We've also signed them Switzerland midfielder Geraldine Rutler, following her exit from Eintracht Frankfurt. The 27-year-old is understood to have signed a 4-year deal and leaves Germany after 8 years in the Frauen-Bundesliga. She made 184 appearances in all competitions for Frankfurt, scoring 54 goals, not a bad return, and 44 assists. So that's 99 goals in 184 appearances, a goal involvement every other game. That's a pretty good return. She'll wear the number 14 shirt and becomes Arsenal's third summer signing following the bagging and the capturing of Germany striker Selina Searcy from Hoffenheim on a free transfer. The 26-year-old has spent her entire career in Frauen-Bundesliga and scored 34 goals in 47 appearances for Hoffenheim, helping them to a fourth-place finish in 25-26. She's also got caps for her country, and she's absolutely gorgeous. I saw pictures of her a little while ago because she was posing in an Arsenal shirt next to her, just in front of pictures of our players. This is while she was at Hoffenheim, and she's been like a lifelong Gooner, and now she's one of ours, which is amazing. So we've signed some really good talent over the last couple of days, and it looks like it will be a pretty exciting start to the Women's League season when it kicks off in a couple of weeks' time. I'm going to do a lot more to get down to the women's games this season coming, because I was really slack the past season that's gone, but that's in the past, so we're all better people now, aren't we? If you're watching this on YouTube, we've gone for a cinematic effect today, which is blurring out the background, because I don't know why. I'm having a bit of a lighting issue. It's just causing me a bit of strife. I'm usually underprepared for these things, and then the lighting decides to just put shadows all over us. But hey, enough of that. It's the Arsenal Armchair Podcast, where we sit at home and we analyse what's going on, and we just find you some little treats from across the World Wide Web. Where we're based here in Hackney, and there's a really cool cafe called Billy's Cafe. It's on number 4 Pritchard's Road. It's just at the bottom end of Broadway Market and sort of top end of Columbia Road. Old school calf. And the owner, Billy, is a massive gooner. So when you go in there, there's loads of pictures of him at the ground, at the games, with various players. They've got the calendar in the window, and it looks like a really cool spot. I had a little thumb through their Instagram a bit earlier, which is Billy's _cap_London. And the day that we'd won the league, he put a chair out in the street and he was having a bit of fun. It's a cool little view and spectate. And I guess for if that was like your match day ritual to go to Billy's for a good old fry up, I'm sure you'd go on to success that day, Gooners. I'm going to ask him to be on the podcast and see if he'll sit down and chat. And maybe we film it in Billy's Cafe and we have a little fry up and we talk about the good times, which are coming back in a month's time, guys. Let's have a wee peruse of the friendly start to the season and who we've got and what's happening, because it's merely days away now. Girona away as a friendly on the 1st of August. That will be at 7 p.m. UK time. We then have Arsenal versus Real Betis on the 5th of August. That's at 7:30. I think that one's in Dublin, is it not? Is that at the Aviva? Is that game? I'm actually coming home for that game. Not for that game, but I'm coming home on the day to hopefully just get excited. I like to see us run around in the shirt with, a lot of B team players, whether it's a proper match or not. I still want to see it. And I guess for the friendlies, I'm a bit starved of seeing us in action. So I get really excited, even though they're usually a bit drab, aren't they? And they've also got Dortmund in the Emirates Cup on the 9th of August. Before then, the friendlies continue where we play Man City in the Community Shield on the 16th at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I will be up in Sheffield, missing that one, and maybe listening with one earphone in. And then Coventry is our first match of the season on Friday, the 21st of August. That's not the bank holiday weekend, that's the one before. 8 p.m. kickoff at home, so that one's going to be rocking. And then the next match will be on the bank holiday weekend, Monday the 31st at 8 p.m. So don't go too hard on Bank Holiday Sunday. Leave a bit in the tank. I want to try and impose like Arsenal restrictions on myself for next season. I'm sure the players have various. You're not allowed to go out. Obviously, the night before, lads. Try not to eat no spicy food. Definitely no dodgy lasagna. I want to see if I can just hold back the night before Arsenal games, because I spend too much time, like on a Sunday in particular, just like hung over to heck watching us, and it doesn't help with my enjoyment of the match. It's really killer on the nerves, and I get most of my joy is from watching the Arsenal, so I need to just shelve all other plans. If we're invited out to do whatnot, I know you lot are always busy, but we should just say no. Arsenal's a priority this season. The champions, we owe it to them. And no, I'm not coming bowling. I'm not going to the opera. I'm not going to your games night. Thank you. I'm just chilling and getting my Arsenal rest in. So that'll be me on Bank Holiday Monday. What else do we have for you then, kids? Morgan Rogers got a pretty good assist yesterday for England's opener. He played in a pretty perfect ball from the right wing. He was deputising, or rather filling in for both Saka and Madueke, who haven't had good World Cups, have they? My reservations about Rodgers, the price tag, we're looking at probably £130 million-ish. And then he's going to be knackered from the World Cup as well. He's going to need a fair bit of rest. Like Aston Villa went all the way in Europe, and he's probably played as many, if not more, games than our two right wingers who are both a bit knackered. So I'm not sure about that one now. I hear talk that all of the World Cup crew won't be back until after the first international break, which isn't till October. It's actually quite late this time around. So if we've got to make do with the scraps, lols, if we've got to make do without them until October, that's quite a while for like our star player, I would say, is Declan Rice. Saka right up there. Madueke, he's been good enough, ain't he? So to do without them, and then potentially if Rodgers is one of our marquee signings and we don't get to see him until October, do we go somewhere else? I don't know. Do we get a cheaper? Is there a cheaper option? I know Lidl have always got deals on, so maybe we pop our heads in there to see what's what. We've signed Ilian Meisler from Leeds United. Very young-looking goalkeeper. He's actually 26 now. He's been at Leeds for 7 seasons, making 215 appearances, keeping 70 clean sheets in that time. He's just got a recognisable face. He just has like a kind of fun sort of chap. Arsenal we've given Leeds a right good thumping over the years, so to now have him at the Arsenal. And it's weird because it said he's going to be the third choice keeper, so it looks like we will keep Kepa on the bench for another season and then have Meisler, who's been starting for Leeds. In the 7 years he's been there, he's been starting, and now he's joining us as our third choice keeper. That seems like a strange one when you look at some other transfer signings this summer. The Fulham striker Hernandez, he's like dropped down now to Wolves. I guess he can play more first team football. So Wolves have just got relegated. He's gone back. He's left the Premier League, gone to Wolves, I guess, so he can get more first choice placement, more starts, more goals. He's prepared to do that in his career. And Meisler at 26 is now prepared to be third string at Arsenal. That confuses me. His arrival will then allow 20-year-old Tommy Stepford to go out on loan. There's still no talk about like some big outgoings from Arsenal, the likes of Wanyeri, where he could end up, and a couple of others. So I guess now that the World Cup is done, pretty much, for all of our Arsenal, are there any players still left? Marino for Spain. And yeah, that's probably about it, isn't it? We don't have any Argentinian players. Yeah, now that it's all kind of done and dusted, I guess maybe some deals start to get sewn and done. This Bruno deal sounds like it's stalled a bit. The news in the last week was that Bruno had requested a transfer exit from Newcastle, and there's all sort of like price tags being banded around of around 50 million quid, which for a holding mid isn't too bad. I would be very happy if we pinched him from Newcastle because he's a proven Premier League star. He always gives us a hard time, so that means, there's one less player to play against. I'm a bit in favour of us just scooping up some of the players that give us a bit of a hard time. I've seen that Crescencio Somerville of West Ham is up for grabs, and a lot of teams seem to be sniffing around for interest. He injured Ben White when we played West Ham. That was it. That was the end of Ben White's season. And then back in, I think it was October or November when we played West Ham at home, he went in really hard on a tackle on Ødegaard, and it left him sidelined for weeks, maybe longer. So maybe some of the players that give us, as a tactic, let's just buy a few of the players that give us a hard time and just leave them on the bench if need be. Arsenal's new third away kit is set to drop on the 23rd of this month. It's got a bit of a retro feel to it. It's blue with sort of yellow/gold with a bit of a red trim to it. It looks all right. It looks okay. Adidas have named it the Bruised Banana Reimagined Kit, and it comes out on the 23rd. I want some slightly darker. I've got quite a lot of red Arsenal at the moment. I'm all in favour of a darker number. I bought that black one that we bought out a few seasons ago, and I've been loving it because it's just a bit more discreet on my bicycle. I know who I am, and the Gooners know who I am, but just to the layperson, they might not notice, and I can fly in under the radar, which is generally that's my notion. Elsewhere then, Mick Arteta's been enjoying himself on his holidays. He's been off with his wife, Lorena, on a mountain bike trip. He looks very funny in this picture on a bike with like some big shocks at the front. He's got his bicycle helmet on. He's got his bag. Over two shoulders, which you would never do at school, strap across the middle, and then another one just to be extra kind of safe. I'd like to see him do some sort of comedy stuff once he eventually hangs up his managerial activities with Arsenal. I see clips from years ago when he was a player and he looked quite funny, but now he's just so serious. But this picture of him on his bike looks pretty funny. Good. I'm glad he's enjoying some good time off, and we hope to welcome you back with open arms, Mikel, because the players are back in training now. Obviously not the World Cup crew, but the rest of the gang are back at Highbury, or rather at London Colney, and doing the biz. There's a bit of, if you wanted to, can't wait until that kit comes out. There's some really cool retro shirts that you can find all over the Arsenal site for not even that expensive. They generally go for about 60 quid, or you can get one of those 70s cotton shirts, which I've got my eye on because my previous one shrunk, or maybe I just put on a bit of weight, mate. 25 quid for the retro 70s one. 60 quid seems to be around normal for the sort of like 89, 90 JVC looking shirts, and then some of the other ones are a little bit more, but yeah, some really cool ones up there. That, if you're thinking about, do I want to, because everyone's going to rush out and get the new shirt, aren't they? If you get yourself a retro one, then that's you, kids. I think this has been the Arsenal Armchair Podcast for this week. If you've been enjoying what you've been hearing, share it with a Gooner. Share it with an Arsenal friend, and, we can all catch up together on the next one over good times galore in the Arsenal world. Stay safe, be lucky, look after yourselves, enjoy the final. Come on, Mikel Merino, and we will see you on the finish line.